Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If God has told you to do something, do it and stay in that. Stay continuing doing it and making sure you have that upkeep of whatever it is that he has told you to do and how to prepare, because you don't want the moment to come and you not be ready, because it is coming, it is going to come to pass. Whatever it is that he's told you, do not fret. Trust his perfect timing, whether it takes a day, a week, a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever. Stay ready. Stay ready, because it is coming. But I believe now is the time. I believe we are in a transitioning phase, during this point of time. God had given me a prophetic word, and he had been showing me twos, right? Like pairs and twos. And then he was talking to me about fruits and pairing people up and just all this stuff. Like those that have been with my ministry since the beginning, this word, and receiving double and so on and so forth. Right. And I heard this girl, I've never seen her on my For You page earlier, and she was talking about staying ready and for your takeoff, right? And that is something that's a key word that God has been speaking on a lot, right? Like taking off, not just in a literal sense in a plane, but like your ministry taking off, your business taking off, and so on and so forth, right? But you're going to be called into a deeper level, right? When God levels you up, it also calls for a greater level of discipline, of discernment, of time with him, or whatever it may be, right? More obedience. Stay ready. Trust his perfect timing and be obedient to whatever it is that he's calling you to do, okay? And there are going to be things and people that try to come in and try to distract you and so on and so forth, but keep your eyes on him. Keep your eyes on our Savior. Amen? Stay ready. Stay ready. What popped into my head is, say there's a woman and that your fiance is about to propose to you soon. It's soon, but you don't know when, right? And for most, I feel like you wouldn't want to be caught off guard, You want to make sure your nails are done, you're keeping your hair done, you're wearing nice outfits. Like that way, when the day comes randomly, you're ready. You're not going to be in sweatpants with your hair in a bun looking a hot mess, And God can speak to us in any way. So you want to make sure you're ready. There's so many that are waiting on their God ordained spouse. Like, what if the next place that you went to, you were going to literally walk into the love of your life? And some people, I know they'll get on here and they'll be like, they'll love me either way. I understand that, but you have years to be around each other with sweatpants. Like, wouldn't you want it to be one of the most memorable and beautiful experiences? Yes, you would. Don't be prideful. Don't let pride come in the way, But it also, outside of that, for those that aren't even like waiting on marriage, or you're already married or whatever. So if God has told you to sell all your things, even if you're sitting in a pretty much empty house for a month, 2 months, whatever, you sell all your things. You do what he said. Always pray and ask for discernment. If he's telling you, hey, don't do all this shopping right now. I know normally you would be shopping right now and you'd be buying all this stuff or whatever, but just sit and, be patient, just wait it out, save your money, watch your money, so on and so forth, because something is coming to pass and I need you to be ready for that moment. I don't want you to be doing all this shopping and taking all these trips and doing all these things right now, because 3 months from now, I'm going to call you to something. You're going to go to this place and you're going to need these things. Okay. So be ready, be prepared. Maybe God's calling you to work out and eat a certain type of way. He's like, I don't need you to be eating all these heavy foods and that's going to weigh you down. I need you to be eating lighter. I need you to be eating leaner. I need you to be more mindful of the things that you're consuming and how much you're consuming, because you can eat good things all day long, but when you're overeating, it's still gluttony, right? I need you to be mindful of this. If he's calling you to get up each morning and go work out, hey, you got to be disciplined enough to do it. Even if it's 40 degrees outside, you got to get up, you got to do it. If he's like, hey, I need you to be stronger in my word, I need you to know my word more, because I'm fixing to send you to a third world country who's never even heard of my word, and I need you to be strong. I need you to study. I need you to learn about these demons and how to cast them out, because I'm fixing to send you somewhere where you are going to be the one that casts these demons out of these people. I've called you for such a time as this, Jeremiah. I've called you to be a prophet unto the nations. I've called you to tear down and cast these demons out, right? hey, for this person, I've told you to stand in the gap for your marriage. I'm restoring it because I'm going to use you too to fight for my kingdom. I'm going to use you too to help save other marriages who I'm also going to use for my kingdom to come against Satan. Hey, I've called you to be a mom. I need you to do these things. I'm going to be using you, and I'm going to be using your children. Your children are going to do great and mighty things. So I need you to make sure you raise them up. You could be the Mary in this generation. I know there will never be another Jesus. I'm not saying that. But Mary's role as a mother was very important. Even her carrying Jesus, it was important. And even Joseph's role as the father of Jesus, the lineage of it. Hey, you may be the grandma of what's to come 2-3 generations down the road. So I need you to be mindful and be paying attention, because who you marry is important because of what's going to come out of it. Be ready. Stay ready. God didn't place those gifts inside of you for no reason. You didn't go through all those tests, trials, and hell for no reason. And for someone who may feel like God can never use you or he would never use you, the devil is a liar. You're probably the one that's got the greatest calling on your life, because you've been there, done that, and God's going to use that. So be ready. Give him your yes and stay ready. Don't put all this effort into working out, taking care of your body, and then neglect the spirit. Don't put all this effort into building a house in vain. If God didn't call you to it, he may just be putting a roof over your head right now. He doesn't want you to settle into that house and to furnish it and do everything for it. It's a roof over your head. It's a transition place. You're going to be in that place for a certain time being. Don't add a bunch of things to it. Don't plan a bunch of things for it. It is a very, very temporary place for you, right? And God is transitioning you to somewhere better, where you're going to grow, where you're going to flourish, where you are going to settle down in that place. So the place you're in now is just a transition place. Don't get too comfortable there. And for the person that God has called you to work out, make sure you're continuing in that, right? And that's not a vain thing. God will call you and absolutely tell you to take care of your temple, be mindful of your body and your health, right? And honor him through that. Honor him through it, right? Do everything in his name and for him. Anyways, but don't be working out super hard for 3 months and then fall off and, little Debbie be your best friend for the next 5, right? Stay consistent. Stay ready. And, for those who are waiting on your marriage promise, this is not a vain thing either. Say you've prayed and you want to look a certain way or be a certain way for your wedding. Okay, well, stick with it, sis. Stick with it, brother, whatever it may be, making sure that you're ready for that time, because it's going to happen quickly. Some of y'all may be expecting to be, you're going to get engaged. Y'all are going to be engaged for 6 months to a year. And God's like, actually, you're going to get engaged. And as soon as that marriage license clears, y'all are going to go have your wedding. Like, things are going to go so fast, you're not even going to be able to wrap your head around it. You're not going to have time to prepare then. You have to prepare now, because you won't have the time then. And it matters if you're prepared then. You want your husband or wife to be a certain way. Well, they also want you to be a certain way. And outside of that, outside of everything that you and your spouse may want in your heart, God desires something even greater. He needs you to know how to cover that person. There's a reason. He needs you to know how to cover that person, because the calling is so great on their life that the attacks are just as great. Okay? Your children. God is calling your children to such great things that you have to cover them daily. You're supposed to cover them anyways. And you can look, again, nobody will be as great as Jesus, right? But let's look at the magnitude of what God had for him, right? Yahushua, or however you say it. Some say Yeshua, whatever. But look at that the magnitude of that, right? So everything else around him also had to be prepared a certain way. Anyways, this message was long, but I love you guys. God bless you, and shalom. And keep your head up. Keep your head up. Don't listen to the enemy's lies, all right?